So I just finished the movie Uncut Gems. If you haven't seen it, huge spoiler warning. I'm going to ruin the movie for you because I'm going to describe some of the key events in the movie. I listened to the episode of Strike and Mike before watching the movie, where Stryker describes a lot of the metaphors pertaining to crystal knocked, etc. But the reason I wanted to make this video is because I want to push back a bit on the last event in the movie, the last metaphor, which Stryker details as, simply the message being, if you put Whitey in a box, then he's going to kill you. That's sort of the insinuation, I guess. Because, of course, the movie is about this Jewish jeweler in like Brooklyn, New York, who's scheming and manipulating everyone around him to try to pay off his debts and avoiding debt collectors. But I think that there's a central theme, a thesis maybe to the whole movie that really is encapsulated in that last scene. The whole movie, he's sort of like hated by everyone. His wife, his children, his employees, everyone around him really hates him. And justifiably so. He's a hateable person. Sandler's character, Ratner, is constantly manipulating everyone around him just to try to make money, just trying to... he's not even trying to pay off his debts. He tries to avoid paying off his debts if he can. But when at all possible, he tries to pay them off just to save his own skin. He's a very just slimy and sleazy and hateable character. Intentionally so, of course. But during the last scene, when the debt collectors finally catch up with him, they throw him out a window, kind of hang him out the window by his feet, like the old movies, threatening him. And this is not the first time they catch up with him. This is the thing. They strip him naked and stuff him in the trunk of his own car at one point, after he tries to run away from them, after he bites the finger of one of them. And this is sort of, I think, a metaphor for exile, for expulsion, because when you look at it, he swindles these people, they catch up to him, they hurt him, or they punish him in some way, and then he keeps on doing the same thing. He keeps engaging in the same cycle of behavior, the same manipulative patterns over and over and over again. And there's no point in the entire movie when he stops up and thinks, maybe I'm going about this all wrong. Maybe I need to reevaluate how I'm treating people or how I'm approaching my problems. No matter how many times these things don't pay off. He's destitute in one of the end scenes. He's desperate. He says, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. He's just sobbing with a broken nose. This compulsion to lie, to manipulate, to scheme, to the point where you don't even know how to approach a problem without doing these things, right? There's no point where he says, maybe I should just go and do an honest day's work, right? And so in the last scene, the debt collector who has a gun, he points it at Ratner at one point, but Ratner says, look, this is bulletproof glass, you're not going to be able to shoot me, so just put it away. So he does. And he's watching Ratner, watching this basketball game on which everything rides. If the basketball game goes the way he wants, his debt will be paid, everything will be hunky-dory, he'll be over the rainbow. In Ratner's mind, that's how he thinks this is going to work. After he's locked these debt collectors in this room to prevent them from hurting him. Of course, it doesn't work out that way. Even though he wins the game, he wins the bet, once he lets them out, one of them shoots him. And so, during the scene when he's watching this show, there's they're constantly cutting between Ratner watching the basketball game and the white guy with the gun, his eyes looking not at the game, but at Ratner. And I think that what it's showing is he's piecing together Ratner's behavior. Because, Ratner will look at the referee makes a bad call, supposedly in his eyes, or one that doesn't benefit him, but is fair, and he says, oh, that's your fault, shifting the blame, constantly blaming other people, never taking responsibility for his own actions, never putting any of the guilt, any of the blame on himself. And, I think that the point of that is to say, look, we've punished you over and over for this behavior. and you don't seem to show any signs that you're going to learn your lesson, that you're going to change it all. And so this is only going to end with your death. You know, the guy that actually owed him the money gets pissed off at the debt collector who kills him. It doesn't show much of the actual skirmish between those two, but I think that the point is, it doesn't matter what is to be gained. It doesn't matter that, you know, maybe I'll recoup my losses, or that I would benefit financially from leaving you alive. When the white European understands fundamentally what you are, what behaviors you engage in, he's going to kill you. It doesn't matter like that you think that you can bargain with him, or that you think that you can manipulate him forever. There's going to come a time once he catches on to your nature that he's going to be so disgusted, so repulsed by this manipulation and this scheming, he's going to want to kill you. And nothing else is going to change that. No other circumstances are going to mitigate that. And so the execution of Ratner at the end of the movie was sort of like a metaphor, I want to say, for the Holocaust. You know, this was sort of like a final solution. That's how I see it. I don't think it's just about the idea of if you box these people in, they're going to want to kill you. I think it's more the fact that when they understand that you're incapable of correction, of rehabilitation, that this is just who you are and what you do, and that nothing's going to stop this cycle of bullshit short of your death, then they're going to do what's rational in that situation. And so, yeah, I think it is a warning. It's a warning from the Safdie brothers who produced the movie, and perhaps to a lesser extent even Sandler, to the Jewish elite in America, that, hey, you know, these people are catching on that, you know, no matter how charitable they are with you, no matter how much they might try to placate your whims and pander to your pleas against anti-Semitism, the day is going to come. The day is going to come when that's not going to be enough, and they're going to realize who and what you are, and they're going to hate you for it. So, thank you, and have a good night.